There's a post by Sami Obeid, who's a Palestinian American comedian, who said, "If the Gazans are happy, so am I." And I feel like that should embody the kind of the what we really should be focusing on, this reprieve, this kind of a, not, I really think reprieve is not right word, but this kind of like relief that Gazans are currently feeling right now due to the this ceasefire deal that's happened. Now, this is obviously, we know there's an elephant in the room, which I'll discuss in just a moment. But this is incredible relief for those who were suffering under the terror campaign of a genocide perpetrated by Israel, the principal ally of the United States. We should all be this is obviously a step in the right direction. Now, obviously, we don't know how long this ceasefire deal will last. At the same time, we must celebrate every win. This is a win for the Palestinian people because they get to, at least, if not rebuild, they get to bring together their lives and maybe have some order in their lives, some degree of freedom compared to what they were experiencing before, which is essentially an extermination campaign held by an ethno-state by the name of Israel. Now, obviously, I mentioned Sami Obeid, and some of you may not know who he is. If you haven't seen his videos, he's a brilliant comic, and he said that with almost implication and understanding that this is within the context of a much larger picture. Of course, you still have apartheid in place. You still have ethnic cleansing in place. And this still might just be a temporary situation. Now, there are several kind of ways we could discuss this further. Anthony Blinken, diplomat from America, he said, he pretty much said that quite part loud in saying that even Hamas, how Israelis pronounce it, have almost won in this situation because, of course, he said that Hamas has recruited just as many people as they have seen unalived. Now, I'm not pro this organization or that organization. I believe in the self-determination of the Palestinian people. I believe in human rights. I believe in the indomitable will of the human species, of the human spirit, which means obviously siding on the side of those who are impacted by these oppressive systems of genocide, oppressive systems of colonialism, of settler colonialism, of ethnic cleansing. Because, of course, these systems are in place not because they appreciate the intrinsic value of human beings as individuals. No, they believe in a collective, almost like a robotic and NPC-like understanding of human beings as being part of this, it's a group identity for the sake of dominating other groups. Right makes right is the internal motto of the colonialism campaign put forward by the Zionist state, which, of course, this is the motto. This has been a motto of a lot of the the Anglo world when it comes to their imperial adventures. In India, for example, in the colonialism of obviously North America, in Canada, in, of course, the United States of America. This extermination campaign of the indigenous people is a complete rejection of the fact that we all have intrinsic value. It's a kind of it's a form of authoritarianism, a form of social Darwinism, and it's not based on respecting life. And we see this being reflected in all kind of spheres of human society. In the way, for example, the conservatives, the right wingers, the pro-authoritarian right wing how they responded to the LA wildfire that has spread and has not stopped since then, and has been predicted prior to that. On I believe Joe Rogan, he said, it just he was recalling something that a fireman had said to him, that it just, we've been lucky this whole time, but the winds have to just turn in the wrong direction, and it'll be unstoppable, because that's showcasing what we all should know, that nature is a force that you cannot reckon with, is something we come from nature, but we cannot dominate in the highest, at the end of the day. We're still beholden to the laws of gravity. We're all beholden to those simple, universal laws, but we're also beholden to nature. And I've read recently that Native Americans, in order to prevent such spread of indiscriminate fire, they would do controlled burning of wood, so that it would prevent the kind of the tinder of this highly dried wood, prevent that accelerating and facilitating the broad scale wildfire spread. And so there's an internal wisdom that has been lost, because we've lost our connection to Mother Nature, to Mother Earth, our connection even to our bodies. And I'll discuss this further, how we've lost our connection to the most basic things in life, because everything has been commodified, everything has been turned into achieving a tick, or trying to get ticks on a tick box exercise, in a checklist exercise, in order to essentially benefit the profiteers of society, but also to we've been trained, we've been primed to seek pleasure rather than joy. Joy is something you kind of, I'll discuss in the future, but joy is something that is not so much you seek for. It's something that is a state of being that you kind of experience upon just experiencing life itself. For example, you might see, enjoy, walking in a forest, for example, enjoying the sun in your face. That is joy. That is something you do not seek in a directed way, as much as you do for pleasure. Pleasure is something you might, for example, eat a huge sundae, a banana sundae, or you might, enjoy a huge dessert, and you seek it out. And what it does is you know what's happening. The kind of the brain neuronal connections are, you're familiar with, and you're seeking that familiarity, and that's why you're getting that that serotonin high. But there's a limit to that, and then that has knock-on effect on your health and other downside, downstream negative effects. So, obviously, joy is something that isn't a negative on your health. In fact, it improves your health. But that's another aspect of our how our connection to ourselves and connection to nature has been deprioritized in favor of something that is overlaid over society in pursuit of profit, but also pursuit of pleasure over joy, or a short-term gratification over more longer-term happiness. But anyways, there's so much to be said about this. This is not an overnight fix, and what's happening in Gaza is a real devastation. More on this in the future, but we can be rest assured that this is better than it was, let's say, yesterday. And the elephant in the room being the situation that may boil over into Iran. Of course, Israel has its eyes set on Iran. Their entire rhetoric is about blaming Iran for everything that's happened, and they will provoke. At best they will provoke. At worst, they will try and involve the United States. And with Donald Trump, Elon Musk coming into the mix, of course, these people are anti-Semitic or philo-Semitic, but pro-Zionist. And there's no telling kind of the influence of money, the influence of the power, and how that will influence their foreign policy. There are people out there who of a spiritual, religious disposition who may think that these individuals will have a positive effect because they are, really changing up the system. They're putting putting the administration or the deep state on its head. But I feel like their commitment to Israel just goes to show that they're still committed to the establishment. They're just, they may have aesthetic differences, but for the most part, they have very similar goals to the establishment. It's just a change up of some aspects. They may want to stop the Ukraine war, for example, something that neoliberals like Bill Maher or Kamala Harris or Obama would be in favor of continuing in order to showcase the power over Russia. But these kind of slight changes do not reflect a complete reversal of the administration or the establishment. It's simply a change of things in the same room. It's basically a slightly different feng shui of the same items in the room. But anyways, more on this in the future. This is definitely a positive thing, but there are other things around the corner. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That'd be very much appreciated. Thank you.